Hello, as the game very politely tells us. Whew, okay. So the last one was a little rough. Let's see if the others cooperate, shall we? I want to say I've run this game in Retrothon before. I think I ran it back in 2020, 2021, something like that. Had the wonderful Miz on commentary. Did not once see it. First half of the game was really rude to me. This is Knuckle Bash. A little bit of lore about the development of this game. This was the last game developed by Toplin. Put this down a little bit. Toplin is mostly well known for developing shmups. It's like kind of their bread and butter. But in 1993, they decided they wanted to make a beat 'em up. And it turned out to be incredibly jank, but also wildly charming. You play as a group of pro wrestlers who are trying to save the quote-unquote sport from corruption by the Mad Bulls. You have a choice of 3 characters to start with, and that's the meat and potatoes of the story, at least. The game actually plays out more like a boss rush, because I think they wanted to give it the fighting game feel. Street Fighter 2 had just come out 2 years before that, so they wanted to capitalize on that, I suppose. So it turned out the way it did. Either way, it's still a sweet game, has some great mechanics. We'll go ahead and pop our credit in. We also get to read off lore. I've never played the second mode, so don't ask. We're going to pick our luchador friend. Here's our lore. Becoming a professional wrestler has always been my dream. In fact, the end of the sport for the Crumb Mad Bull. Wrestling heroes unite. Chicago until a secret meeting has been arranged. Heroes decided to take the service from Knuckle Bastard Nimbo. Name is Hayachi Ninja Warrior. Resides in Hong Kong. Don't be a skillful cunning fighter. Mad Bull's one of us. Stop at nothing. Heroes can let this happen even if it means. So we've arrived at the illustrious Hotel Rats. Also, spoiler, that's our boss. Not the boss of our character, I mean the final boss of the game. So all of our strings end with pro, just because we're pro wrestlers, and that's awesome. Okay, I'll do what I can to justify for that. The game is naturally pretty loud. Bear with me. Hope that's better. This game has quite the loud sound chip. They wanted people to know, I guess. They got these bellhops. Here we have some more muscular bellhops than we saw in the first room. I'm just gonna punch them to death, get a suplex, and we're on our way. For our first quote boss fight, we have this Road Warrior wannabe. You give me a crouch. You wanted to do a high crush, that's fine. This is a pretty easy strat. Just walk over until you get a grab set up. Just do it to it. Knuckle bash him a few times, then toss him. Okay, moving on to the actual boss of the first room. We got a handicap match, but on broken glass. We're gonna anti-air this guy real quick. The kickboxer down here is not a huge threat. The guy on the do-rag is the bigger issue. I actually didn't want to do that, so I'm hoping that doesn't end poorly. Somehow I didn't catch that. Alright, I gotta focus a little bit. He's just wiggling. Okay, that was actually really scary. If the guy in the bandana gets loose, things get really hairy really quickly. So after the first, third, and fifth stages, we have this cute bonus stage where we get to work on our glutes. We want to succeed at the first one because that gives us a health refill. We also get a ton of points. This game has extends. First extend is, I believe, at 100,000, which isn't hard to hit. Second extend will be at 500,000, that'll be a bit later. And all you have to do is just beat out the number of inputs they had. We beat them 115 to 66, so pretty decisive. All right, this boss is actually just a one-shot boss, so it does have an interesting quick kill though, and I had to focus real quick. Okay, cool. That fight's really scary if it doesn't go the way you want it to. It's also the reason I play this character. The Elvis impersonator is arguably a better character, but he can't do that strat. His strat's a little bit tougher. Okay, so this room's actually kind of tough, even though it's just a bunch of goons. Yeah, because they have Honda Headbutt. Honda Headbutt's really good in a game like this. Didn't want that to happen either. Alright, let me... They know people are watching, so I gotta give them a show. Okay. Alright, under our stage 3 boss. I like to call it the Blancarilla. Because it's a gorilla in Blanca colors, you see. With as much health as I have, I don't want to get hit, so I'm gonna see if I can do this loop. Slide on wake up. Slide on wake up, that's fine. Slide on wake up. Very good. If the gorilla gets out of that loop, you're in a lot of trouble. It can like dodge or slide. It's really annoying. Alright, back to our bonus stage. We're gonna work on our glutes a bit more. We also definitely want to win this one because, again, health refill. The first 2 bonus stages aren't that hard as long as your mashing is average. Third one's a bit tougher, but thankfully the third one's also the least necessary. It's the only one I can consistently get to without taking damage, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, stage 4. One of the harder stages top to bottom. The only easy part about it is the boss. Guys, I kind of just have to group up and hope for the best. The guys that actually have hair on top of their heads have really good wake up, so I have to respect that. And they have really good melee. That chop, yeah, there's that wake up I was talking about. That chop they do is a problem too. Got him with the elbow drop, there we go. Okay, second room's actually, in my opinion, even more difficult, because now we have knife guys that have Ronald McDonald hair for some reason. Probably because pro wrestling. There's one thing I learned about this game. If you have any questions about why something's happening, the answer is probably because of pro wrestling. Like the fact that this got suplexed. I've actually never seen that guy do a suplex, so good to know he can do that. Wow. That was special, but okay. Okay. So yeah, you just gotta watch out mainly for that circular knife slash. That thing's a problem. Moving on from the Mad Kids into Dragon Street. Okay, so here we have Hayate, the man we're pursuing. It's actually a very similar loop to the Blanca fight. I just try to make sure I keep him at the wall. That's my one goal always. Okay, we're just gonna slide under. If we catch him on wake up, great. If not, we just grab him and do what we do. Ooh, we almost broke out of that. Timing's kind of strict sometimes. Very good. Still deathless going to 5. Love that. I believe this is a 10-stage game overall, even though some stages are just one room. And now, this is actually a cool thing about this game. You actually unlock more characters as you progress. So by beating Hayate, we actually unlock him, and he's, you know, bent on destroying the Mad Bull, so we'll go ahead and pick him because he's really good. And more lore. My journey takes me to Battle Kingdom, headquarters of the Bull Group. It's rumored that one of the one side of the organization, it seems to disagree with their methods. I too was once lured by the temptation of the Bull Group. They're nothing but a gang of criminals, evil as sin. So now we're gonna fight the Vader twins in the parking lot, because that's just what you do. Pretty easy fight. The big thing to note is you have to keep them separated. If these guys get together, they're actually a really big issue. Thankfully that's pretty easy because they're susceptible to Hayate's godlike jab. And then they just get sling bladed to death. Like so. Spin the tornado a couple times. Also, look at this walk cycle. Isn't this just the best? Hayate just struts in everywhere. This is essentially a refight of the not Road Warrior we fought in the first mission. But now we do it inside an actual wrestling ring. Who'd have thunk it? Essentially the same. Walk over him on wake up, grab him, drop him, do it again. Very good. Alright, that'll take us out of stage 6 and onto our last bonus stage. Although it was after 5, it's actually after 6, so that's my bad. I'm actually not going to do this one for the sake of speed. I'll press a few buttons, but we don't need the health. We can probably use the points because of the extend, but we shouldn't have an issue getting the extend. Get that added. Okay, so onto our Johnny Max looking dude here. We'll start with a tornado. You connect on everybody, very good. Do another one. Did it again. Oh, actually I missed one. That's bad. Alright, I gotta put eyes on him. I actually didn't want to do that, but that's okay. Alright, so he's gonna get up, he's gonna touch down again. I have to jump to avoid it. He walked into a grab, very good. So I lost a little bit of health, but accidentally doing a third tornado, but that second cycle for the enemies kind of got me out of nowhere, so that was unfortunate. Onto the Sheik. Actually one of the harder boss fights in the game, if you don't know the loop I'm about to do. And even then it's still pretty tough. Essentially just gonna do this until he gets down to his last 2 hits. You have to do it quickly though. He breaks out very fast. Oh, I missed it. I missed one hit, but that should still be okay. Trickle him to his tornado, we'll beat him with ours. So, I defaulted to this. I'll explain what happened. I didn't want that death to happen. I didn't have enough health to be able to tornado him again. And you can beat out the tornado by doing a neutral jump kick to beat him out of it. But I was early. So, we took a hit and we took a death. Unfortunate, this can't be a no-miss, but still an okay fight. Alright, so we've unlocked our football player. Take him for our last couple stages. A little bit of hissing there in the back. And so the sound chip in this game is kind of weird. This is also my favorite track in the game. I love this song. We got our Kabuki friend flying in. We're gonna do a touchdown, which is our Super Joy. And then from here, we're just gonna let him do a wake-up attack. We block it. You block the holding attack. Grab him and then put him in the ground and do it again. Very consistent loop. Dance a little bit. Alright, so we get another little text scroll for some lore. From Kabuki Giant Baba. I knew all along you'd defeat me. I think you can destroy the bulls. I hope you will succeed. Good luck. Thank you, Baba. Alright, jump off the house. Into the lab for our final boss fight. So we have this ugly-looking Mickey Ficky. We'll start off by going for a combo. Let him wake up, do a dash punch. Come in behind, do it again. You can only do this 3 times, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Yo, got an ultra combo, let's go. That's really good. So from here, I'll just, I still got hit by that? Interesting. Okay, so don't have any health to do that again, so I have to try to catch him here. Do it again, I hope. Alright, good enough. Whew. That was weird. Normally if you do the touchdown, that geyser actually doesn't hit you. Thank you for the raid, MTI. Got one last thing to do before we finish. They were a formidable opponent. Is this the end? That's right. We have one thing left to do. What's that? Take control of our destiny. And Phantasy Star 4 ending screen! What a knuckle bash it was indeed. Tell me this isn't just the perfect anime protagonist ending. Like, look at this. Except for the blonde guy. He's the worst character in the game. We don't want anything to do with him. That actually was not a 1 life clear. I took a death on the Sheik, but still a 1 CC. through our initials real quick. Alright, very good. The friends with a knuckle bash I made along the way, actually. Anyway, got one more for y'all. Stick around, be back shortly.